Okay. Hope this is working. Let's turn this off. Fuck. Now I need to. Let's just. We'll starting soon. Okay. So, first, let's set up. Hey, hello, Luke. Hello. First, let's move the how we will call the last stream. How did we call it? We can delete this and yeah, just see. And we will call the stream the last one. How to increase CPU. Yeah. How to increase CPU. So it will be 750. This should be 57. And this will be 58. Sorry, just need to set things up here. Public premiere, so we should premiere it now. And this one, $58. In the game. And how to increase CPU. And let's say one more hashtag, making of start with export. Too many windows opened. Copy this title. Are we premiering now on YouTube? Yep. And this one would be how to start the level. To start new level. But first we really need to improve that CPU, so I finally got to learn how to do that. So there is Microsoft Windows protection. So this is very useful tip, but the guy is saying there that we shouldn't use it often, just when we are playing. Where is this? No, it should be here. Okay. So just type C. What's the name? CCV host. No, what's the name? Where is that? How I call that? Microsoft software protection. Microsoft software protection and the guy at YouTube is I will show you. That's the where is he here. Here is if anyone CPP. If anyone want to have troubles with that, just download that software. It's called the hacker process hacker. We can call that process hacker and extreme, like process hacker. We just type SPP and go in it. Come on, where are you? SPP. Is it SPP? Oh. And just suspend. Yeah. And we will increase our CPU there, I think. So we need to build a new level, as I said. Need to think about that. We need to plan it first. Settings are good. We got this also that we can bring in our scene. I mean, it's already there. It's already there. Then there is one more thing. If you show this in Explorer, yeah, this FBX. If we open Maya, let's see now our. Oh, it's not increased. I mean, it's, yeah, it is. There are no spikes. Yeah. There are no spikes. Our comp is faster. So let's just check it. The best streaming music. Hey, but I'm black there. Let's fix this green screen by enabling low light. Okay. It's a little bit better now. So, okay, all the scene is there. All the elements. that we'll need. Hit 6. I mean 6. And select the elements and add Lambert to them. This could be our room. How much text do we have more? If we open the Premiere, let's listen. So our goal is to plan the new level. We cannot just jump in it. We need to plan it first. I increased the stream resolution a little bit. So next streams will be in the same or better resolution. We are still testing. Offline all. So a lot of there are 35 minutes to add, and here is 76 minutes. Ooh, that's a long wait. Let's listen to it while we are. What is that minute? It's starting at what? What's the first words? Open volume mixer, increase Premiere, and say.
Suppose that I had abandoned the design. It was supposed that I had abandoned the design.
It's suppose I was abandoned the desire.
While the brig was getting ready, he frequently urged upon me the excellency of the opportunity now offered for indulging my desire of travel. While the brig was getting ready, he frequently urged upon me the excellency of the opportunity now
We
offered for
added
indulging my desire of
this,
travel.
okay.
It was supposed that I had abandoned the design. I have since frequently examined my conduct on this occasion.
Let's add it here. Take 1 minute. Cut it somewhere there. Mute.
We were sure to have a conference and talk over our hopes. After nearly a month passed,
Okay. Right there. So our next text will be that one. Need to figure it out how we will add text.
Design. I have since frequently examined my conduct on this occasion. The sentiments of displeasure as well as surprise.
Yeah, let's listen to that. And as I said, it's starting at 5 minutes. At 4th.
It was supposed that I had abandoned the design.
4th minute. Just go. It's chapter 2. We have it in our Wizard Audio chap 02 here.
This is a LibreVault tree.
Okay.
Abating my desire only added fuel to the flame. I determined to go to all hazards, and having made known my intentions to Augustus, we set out about arranging a plan by which it would be accomplished. In the meantime, I forbore speaking to any of my relations in regard to the voyage, and I busied myself ostensibly with my usual studies. It was supposed that I had abandoned the design. I have since frequently examined my conduct on this occasion, the sentiments of
Close
displeasure
this.
as well as surprise.
So we will constantly listen
The intense
to that
hypocrisy
while
I made use of for the
planning.
furtherance of my project, and hypocrisy pervading every word and action of my life for so long a period of time, could only have been rendered tolerable to myself by the wild and burning expectation with which I look forward to the fulfillment of my long-cherished visions of travel. In pursuance of my scheme of
I
deception,
wanted to add
I was
this. If we
necessarily
just
obliged to
put
leave
it
much
here,
to the management of Augustus,
we cannot
who
do
was
that.
employed for the greater part of every day on board
If
the
we
grounds,
add it like this,
attending to some arrangements for his father in the cabin and cabin hold. At night, however, we were sure to have a conference and talk over our hopes. After nearly a month passed in this manner, without our hitting upon any plan we thought likely to succeed, he told me at last that he had determined upon everything necessary.
is it in the
I had
sea
a
now?
relation living in New Bedford, a Mr. Ross, at whose house I was in a habit of spending occasionally 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
Please don't crash.
The brig was to sail about the middle of June.
I'm tired.
June
I was at
1827.
ice skating
And
with
it was agreed that a day
older
or two
daughter.
before her
It
putting
was
to sea,
interesting.
my father was to receive a note, as usual, from Mr. Ross, asking me to come over and spend a fortnight with Robert and Emmett.
Fortnite.
Augustus charged himself
Come
with the
on.
writing of this note and getting it delivered. Having set
Okay.
out as supposed for New Bedford, I was then to report myself to my companion
Just
who would contrive a hiding place
Call
for
it
me in
Pirate
the grounds.
Cabin.
This hiding place, he assured me, would be rendered sufficiently comfortable for a residence of many days, during which I was not to make my appearance. When the brig had proceeded so far on her course as to make any turning back
Select
in matter
the
out of the
children.
question, I should then, he said, be formally installed in all the comforts of the cabin. And as to his father, he would only laugh heartily at the joke. Vessels enough would be met with, by which a letter might be sent home, explaining the adventure to my parents. The middle of June at length arrived, and everything had been matured. The note was written and delivered, and on Monday morning I left the house for New
The
Bedford
best
Packet,
would be
as
to
supposed.
add
I went, however, straight to Augustus,
to
who
add
was
it
waiting for me
in
at the corner
the
of the street. It had been our original
in
plan
the ship,
that I should
but
keep out of the way until dark
it's
when I
harder.
slipped on board the brig. But as there was now a thick fog in our favor, it was agreed to lose no time in secreting me. Augustus led the way to the wharf, and I followed at a little distance, enveloped in a
Nope.
thick seaman's cloak, which he had brought with him, so that
Move
my
it
person
here.
might not be easily recognized. Just as we turned the second corner after passing Mr.
I
Hammond's
want
well,
to.
who should appear
The
standing right in
goal
front of
is
me
to
and
build
looking me
like
full in the
a
face.
ship,
Mr.
pirate ship
Peterson,
cabin. If
my
we say,
grandfather. Why, bless my soul, Gordon, said
if
he,
we say
after a long
here,
pause. Why, whose dirty cloak is that you have on? Sir, I replied, assuming, as well as I could, in the exigency of the moment, an air of
Yeah.
offended surprise,
that's the one.
and talking in the gruffest of all imaginable tones. Sir, you are somewhat mistaken. My name, in the first
Can
place,
we?
meant nothing
Okay.
at all like Gotten, and I want you to foreknow better, you blackguard, than to call my new overcoat a D'Artagnan. For my life, I could hardly refrain from screaming with laughter at the odd manner in which the old gentleman received this handsome rebuke. He started back 2 or 3 steps,
Let's
turned
start
first
to
pale,
gather
and then excessively red. Threw up his
assets.
spectacles, then, putting them down,
Call it
ran full
pirate
tilt at me,
cabin.
with his umbrella uplifted. He stopped short,
Zero
however, in his
one.
career, as if struck with a sudden recollection, and presently turned around, hobbled off down the street, shaking all the while with rage and muttering between his teeth, "Won't do. New glasses. Thought it was Gordon.
Also,
Good for nothing.
we can
saltwater long
put the
Tom."
name for the next stream.
After this narrow escape, we proceeded with
Pirate
greater caution
cabin, or
and
how to
arrived at our
build.
point of destination in safety. There were only 1 or 2 of the hands on board, and these were busy forward doing something to the forecastle combings. Captain Bernard, we knew very well, was engaged at Lloyd and Redenberg's, and would remain there until late in the evening. So we had little
They
to
look
apprehend
all
on
the
his
same.
account.
Yeah, it
Augustus
is
went
small.
first up the vessel's
We
side,
can actually build
and in a
in the
short
ship,
while,
maybe.
I followed him, without being noticed by the men at work.
We
We
should
proceeded
test
at
it.
once into the cabin and found no person there. It was fitted up in the most comfortable style, a thing somewhat unusual in a whaling vessel. There were 4 very excellent staterooms with wide and convenient berths. There was also a large stove, I took notice, and a remarkably thick and valuable carpet covering the floor of both the cabin and the staterooms. The ceiling was a full 7 feet high, and in short, everything appeared of a more roomy and agreeable nature than I had anticipated. Augustus, however, would allow me but little time for observation, insisting upon the necessity of my concealing myself
This
as soon
looks
as possible.
interesting.
He led the way into his own stateroom, which was on the starboard side of the brig, and next to the bulkheads. Upon entering, he closed the door and bolted it. I thought I had never seen a nicer little room than the one in which I now found myself. It was about 10 foot long and had
Listen.
only 1 berth, which, as I said
Listen, this
before,
is
was wide
important.
and convenient. In that portion of the closet nearest the bulkhead, there was
Sorry,
a space
sorry.
of 4 square feet, containing a table, a chair, and a set of
Come
hanging
on,
shelves
give
full of
me.
books, chiefly books of voyages and travels.
So at a minute, how to go? Help with playback. How to go? How to reverse? Windows Media Player reverse. Adventures eventually starts here, really, in this incredible story, and we're doing best to give it some of the atmosphere. So how to reverse, but not reverse, it's Windows Media Player. Playback shortcuts. Control Alt B. What music? Not sure if you can hear it. Control Alt B, but can we just so Control Alt and hey blind man, hello man. Sorry for the Instagram answers, cause I see the messages late and I see some messages from who knows when. So I'm not still good at it. Just trying to find good skin for, I mean, I wanted to change something here to fast forward and backward things, but I don't know how to do it, so let's just...
And had only one berth. The ceiling was a full 7 feet high, and in short,
that's
everything...
it. So 10th minute, at 10 minutes...
Thing somewhat unusual in a whaling vessel. There were 4 very excellent staterooms with wide and convenient berths. There was also a large stove, I took notice, and a remarkably thick and valuable carpet covering the floor of both the cabin and the staterooms.
Cabin place.
The ceiling was a full 7 feet high, and in short, everything appeared
7 feet high.
And agreeable
How much is
I
it?
had anticipated. Augustus, however, would allow me
how much is the
time
feet?
for observation, insisting upon the necessity of my concealing myself as soon as
Converter.
possible. He led the way into his own stateroom, which was on the starboard side of the rig and next to the bulkheads. Upon entering, he closed the door and bolted it.
Feet to meter, so 7 feet is 2 meters.
It was about 10 foot long and had only one berth, which, as I said before, was wide and convenient.
10
In
foot.
that portion of the closet nearest the bulkheads, there was a space of 4 square feet, containing a table, a chair, and a set of
10 foot. 10 foot. 7 feet high. 10 foot long. So 2 meters. 2 meters high by 3 meters long. Okay, that's important.
Shelves full of books, chiefly books of voyages and
Full
travels.
of books, yes.
There were many other little comforts in the room.
So this is the room.
Among which I ought not to forget a kind of safe or refrigerator, in which Augustus pointed out to me a host of delicacies, both in the eating and drinking department.
This is the
He
one.
now pressed with his knuckles upon a certain spot of the carpet in one corner of the space just mentioned, letting me know that a portion of the flooring, about 16 inches square, had been neatly cut out and again adjusted.
16 inches square.
As he pressed, this portion rose up at one end sufficiently to allow the passage of a finger beneath. In this manner he raised the mouth of the trap, to which the carpet was still fastened by tacks, and I found that it led into the after hold.
I need
He
more
next lit
coffee.
a small taper by the means of a phosphorus match, and placing the light in a dark lantern, descended with it through the opening, bidding me follow.
This is really very detailed. So, old ship cabin. Do we have some video about that to describe us? Old ship interior. Just to visualize that old ghostly shipwreck. No. Like this one. Let's go backward.
For seeing a nicer little room than the one in which I now found myself. It was about 10 foot long and had only one berth, which, as I said before, was wide and convenient. In that portion of the closet nearest the bulkheads there was a space of 4 square feet, containing a table, a chair, and a set of hanging shelves full of books, chiefly books of voyages and travels. There were many other little comforts in the room, among which I ought not to forget a kind of safe or refrigerator, in which Augustus pointed out to me a host of delicacies both in the eating and drinking department. He now pressed with his knuckles upon a certain spot of the carpet in one corner of the space just mentioned, letting me know that a portion of the flooring, about 16 inches square, had been neatly cut out and again adjusted. As he pressed, this portion rose up at one end sufficiently to allow the passage of a finger beneath. In this manner he raised the mouth
Those
of the
doors.
trap, to which the carpet was still fastened by tacks, and I found that it led into the after hold. He next lit a small taper by the means of a phosphorus match, and placing the light in a dark lantern, descended with it through the opening, bidding me follow. I did
So
so.
it's dark room.
And he then pulled the cover upon the hole by means of a nail driven into the underside. The carpet,
There
of
is a
course,
light. Wow.
resuming its original position on the
I
floor of the
didn't know
stateroom,
it picked
and
light
all
from
traces
Unreal.
of the aperture being concealed. The taper gave out so feeble a ray that it was with the greatest difficulty I could grope my way through the confused mass of lumber among which I now found myself. By degrees, however, my eyes became accustomed to the gloom, and I proceeded with less trouble, holding on to the skirts of my friend's coat. He brought me at length, after creeping and winding through innumerable narrow passages, to an iron-bound box, such as used sometimes for packing fine earthenware. It was nearly 4 feet high, and a full 6 long, but very narrow.
Narrow.
2 large empty oil
Okay.
casks lay
Nice,
on top
nice.
of it, and above these, again, a vast quantity of straw matting, piled up as high as the floor of the cabin. In every other direction, everything was wedged
The question
as
is,
closely as possible, even up to the ceiling, a complete chaos of almost every species of ship furniture, together with a heterogeneous medley of crates, hampers, barrels, and bales, so that it seemed a matter no less than miraculous
walk
that
in
we had
this?
discovered any passage at all to the box. I afterward found that Augustus had purposely arranged the stowage in this hold with a view to affording me a thorough concealment, having had only one assistant in the labor, a man not going out in the wreck. My companion now showed me that one of the ends of the box could be removed at pleasure. He slipped it aside and displayed the interior, at which I was excessively amused. A mattress from one end of the cabin berth covered the whole of its bottom. and it contained almost every article of mere
Not
comfort
third
which could be
person, but
crowded into
first
so
person.
small a space, allowing me at the same time sufficient room for my accommodation, either in a sitting position or lying at full length. Among other things, there were some books, pen, ink, and paper, 3 blankets, a large jug full of water, a keg of sea biscuit, 3 or 4
this will
immense
be
bologna
tricky.
sausages, an enormous ham,
Because
cold
I
leg of
want
roast
to
mutton,
put this
and a half
onto.
dozen bottles of cordials and liquors.
I want
I
to
proceeded immediately to take possession of my little
make it
apartment,
movable,
and with feelings of higher
like it's
satisfaction,
on
I
the
am sure,
ocean.
than any monarch ever experienced upon entering
Is
a new
there
palace.
any?
Augustus now pointed out to me the method of fastening
Let's
the
go
open end
to
of the
this
box and
plane
then
to
holding
see
the taper
if
close
it's
to the deck.
collisions
piece of
taken.
dark
Any
whipcord
collisions?
lying along
No
it.
collisions for
This,
this.
he said, extended from my hiding place throughout
Weird.
and the necessary windings among the lumber to a nail which was driven into the deck of the hold,
Block.
immediately
It should
beneath
block
the
hole.
trapdoor leading into his stateroom. By means of this cord, I should be enabled ready to trace my way out without his guidance, provided any unlooked-for accident should render such a step necessary. He now took his departure, leaving me with a lantern, together with a copious supply of tapers and phosphorus, and promising to pay me a visit as often as he could contrive to do without observation.
Use.
This was on the 17th of June. I remained 3 days and nights, as nearly as I could guess, in my hiding place without getting out of it at all, except twice for the purpose of stretching my limbs by standing erect between 2 crates just opposite the open.
Okay, nice.
During the whole period I saw nothing of Augustus, but this occasioned me little uneasiness, as I knew the brig was expected to put to sea every hour, and in the bustle he would not easily find opportunities of coming down to me.
Is it moving?
At
No.
length I heard the trapdoor open and shut. Presently he called in a low voice, asking if all was well, and if there was
Wow,
anything
this
I
this
wanted.
could be interesting.
Nothing, I replied. I am as comfortable as
No
I can be.
collisions.
When will the brig sail? She will be underway in less than a half hour, he answered. I came to let you know, and for fear you should be uneasy in my absence. I shall not have a chance of coming down to you again for some time, perhaps 3 or 4 days. All is going right above board. After I
We
go
can
up
put
and
the
close the trap,
text
do you creep along by the whipcord to where the nail is
text to
driven in?
be
You will find my watch there. It may be
to
useful
play
to you,
all the time,
as you have no daylight to keep the
because
time by.
there is no
I suppose you can't
big
tell how long
space
you've been
to
married.
run.
Only 3 days. This is the 20th.
So it
I
took
would
me
bring the watch to your box, but I'm afraid of being missed. With this, he went.
July,
In about an hour after he had gone, I
August,
distinctly
September,
felt the brig
like
in
4
motion,
months to
and
come to
congratulated
here.
myself upon having at length fairly commenced a voyage. Satisfied with
And
this
this is
idea,
for me
I determined
really
to make
start
my
of the
mind as
journey,
easy as possible,
incredible journey
and
in
await the
this
course of
novel.
events until I should be permitted to exchange the box for the more roomy, although hardly more comfortable, accommodations of
Collisions.
the cabin. My first care was to get the watch. Leaving the taper burning, I groped along in the dark, following the cord through the windings innumerable,
Nope.
in some of which I
We
discovered
need
that, after tolling a long distance,
yeah.
I was brought back within a foot or two of a former position. At length, I reached the nail, and securing the object of my journey, returned with it in safety. I now looked over the books which had been so thoughtfully provided, and selected the expedition of Lewis and Clark to the mouth of the Columbia. With this, I amused myself for some time, when growing sleepy, I extinguished the light
Okay,
with
there
great
is
care,
no
and
collisions
soon
there.
fell into a sound slumber.
But the next
Upon
question
awakening,
is,
I felt strangely confused in
can
mind,
this
and some time elapsed before I could bring to recollection all the
cabin,
various circumstances of
can
my
we
situation.
put it like
By degrees, however, I remembered all. Striking a light,
this
I
ship
looked at
to
the
be
watch, but it was run down, and there were consequently no means of determining how long I slept.
Physics constraint.
My limbs were greatly cramped, and I was forced to relieve them by
Buoyancy
standing
force.
between the crates. Presently feeling an almost ravenous appetite, I bethought myself of the cold
Main
mutton,
body.
some
Just
of which I had
like
eaten just
to
before going to sleep, and found excellent. What was my astonishment in discovering it to be in a state of absolute putrefaction. This circumstance occasioned me great disquietude, for connecting it with the disorder of mind I experienced upon awakening, I began to suppose that I must have slept for an inordinately long period of time. The close atmosphere of the hold might have had something to do with this, and might in the end be productive of the most serious results.
let's find
My head
this.
ached excessively. I fancied that I drew every breath with difficulty, and in short, I was oppressed with
Duplicate.
a multitude of gloomy feelings. Still, I could not venture to make any disturbance by
cabin.
opening the trap or otherwise, and, having wound up the watch, contented myself as well as possible.
No, just
Throughout the whole of the next tedious 24 hours, no person came to my relief.
I want
And
to
I could
bring
not help
this
accusing Augustus of the
all of
grossest
the
inattention. What
pirate
alarmed me
cabin
chiefly was that the
into
water in
this
my jug was
ship.
reduced to about half a pint, and I was suffering much from thirst, having eaten freely of the bologna sausages after the loss of my mutton. I became very uneasy and could no longer take any interest in my books. I was overpowered too with the desire to sleep, yet trembled at the thought of indulging in it, lest there might exist some pernicious influence like that of burning charcoal in the
there are
confined
two
air
ways
of
to
the hold.
make a blueprint
In the
from
meantime,
this,
the roll of the
or
brig
to
told me that we were far in the main
convert
ocean,
it
and the dull humming sound, which reached my
to
ears as if
static
from an
mesh.
immense distance, convinced me no ordinary gale was blowing. I could not imagine a reason for the absence of Augustus.
and
We
then
were
to
surely far
import
enough
it there.
advanced on our voyage to allow my going up. Some accident must have happened to him,
Can we
but I could think of none
add
which would account for his
new
suffering me to
blueprint
remain
here?
so long a prisoner,
Blueprint in blueprint?
except indeed his having suddenly died
I mean,
or fallen
ship main
overboard,
body.
and
It's
upon this idea I could not dwell with any
like
degree
from
of patience.
few
It was
elements
possible that
are
we
there.
had been baffled by the headwinds and were still in the near vicinity of Nantucket. This notion, however, I was forced to abandon. For such being
Let's
the case, the brig
try
must have frequently
to
gone
convert
about, and I was entirely satisfied from her continual inclination to the larboard that she had been sailing all along with a steady breeze on her starboard quarter. Pondering in this manner upon the difficulties of my solitary and cheerless condition, I resolved to wait yet another 24 hours, when, if no relief were obtained, I would make my way to the trap and endeavor either to hold a parley with my friend or get at least a little fresh air through the opening and a further supply of water from the state.
Pirate ship cabin.
While occupied with this thought, however, I fell, in spite of every exertion to the contrary,
BP
into a
cabin.
state of profound sleep, or rather stupor.
Let's
My dreams were of the most horrific description. Every species
cabin.
of calamity and horror befell
It's
me.
too much text.
Among
but
other miseries, I was smothered to death between huge pillows by
Don't
demons of the most
crash.
ghastly and ferocious aspect. Immense serpents held me in their embrace and looked earnestly in my face with their fearfully shining eyes. Then deserts, limitless, and of the most forlorn and awe-inspiring character, spread themselves out before me,
Can we now group
rose
it?
up in endless succession as far as the eye could reach.
We'll put it
Their
in
roots were concealed in
new
wide-spreading morays, whose dreary water lay
folder
intensely
here
black,
or whatever.
still,
Group.
and altogether terrible beneath. And the strange trees seemed endowed with human vitality, and waved to and fro with their skeleton arms,
How to group
were
it?
crying to the silent waters for mercy in the shrill and piercing accents of the most acute agony and despair. The scene changed, and I stood naked and alone, amidst the burning sand plains of the Sahara. At my feet lay crouched a fierce lion of the tropics. Suddenly his wild eyes opened and fell upon me. With a conclusive bound he sprang to his feet and laid bare his horrible teeth. In another instant there burst from his red throat a roar like the thunder of the firmament, and I fell impetuously to the earth. Stifling in a paroxysm of terror, I at last found myself partially awake. My dream, then, was not all a dream. Now at least I was in the possession of my senses.
And can you
The
just
paws of some huge and real monster were pressing heavily upon my bosom. His hot breath was in my ear, and his white and ghastly fangs were gleaming upon me through the gloom. Had 1,000
main
lives
box?
hung upon the
What is
movement
this
of a
box
limb
collision?
or the utterance of a syllable, I could have neither stirred nor spoken. The beast, whatever it was, retained his position without attempting any immediate violence, while I lay utterly
You know what?
helpless,
Let's
and I fancied a dying condition beneath him.
take this.
I felt that my powers of body and mind were fast leaving me. In a word, that I was perishing, and perishing of sheer fright.
First.
My brain swam.
This is
I
BP.
grew deadly sick. My vision failed. Even the glaring eyeballs above me grew dim. Making a last strong effort, I at length breathed a faint ejaculation to God and resigned myself to die. The sound of my voice seemed to arouse all the latent fury of the animal. He precipitated himself at full length upon my body. But what was my astonishment when, with a long and low whine, he commenced licking my face and hands with
Oh yeah,
great
that's the
eagerness,
animal.
and with the most extravagant demonstration of affection and joy. I was bewildered, utterly lost in amazement,
So we
but I
don't
could
want
not
this
forget the
ship.
peculiar whine of my Newfoundland dog Tiger, and the odd manner of his caresses I well knew. It was he. I experienced a sudden rush of blood to my temples, a giddy and overpowering sense of deliverance and
Ship main
reanimation.
body.
I rose hurriedly from the
Can we
mattress upon
hide
which
it?
I had been lying, and throwing myself upon the neck of my faithful follower and friend, relieved the long oppression of my bosom in a flood of the most passionate
And
tears. As upon a
take
former
the
occasion,
cabin.
my conceptions were in a state of the greatest
Copy it.
indistinctness and confusion after
And
leaving the
try
mattress.
to
For a long
get
time I
there,
found it nearly
paste.
impossible to connect any ideas, but by very slow degrees, my thinking faculties returned, and I again called to memory
Nope.
the several incidents of my condition.
It's
For
not
the
there.
presence of Tiger I tried in vain to account, and after busying myself with 1,000 different conjectures respecting him, was forced to content myself with rejoicing that he was with me to share my dreary solitude, and render me comfort by
Add the
his
scene.
caresses. Most people love their dogs, but for Tiger, I had an affection far more ardent
Paste.
than common, and never certainly did any creature more truly deserve it. For
Come
7
on.
years he had been my inseparable companion, and in a multitude of instances had given evidence of all the noble qualities of which we value the animal. I had rescued him when a
This
puppy from
better.
the clutches of a malignant little villain in Nantucket who was leading him with a rope around his neck to the water,
It will be tricky.
and the grown dog repaid the obligation
I
about 3
need
years
that
afterward
ocean
by
movements,
saving me from the bludgeon of a street robber.
but to add it to
Getting now a
blueprint,
hold of
it
the
will be
watch,
tricky.
I
I didn't
found,
save
upon
it.
applying
Maybe
it to
it
my
will
ear,
crash.
that it had again run down. But at this I was not at all surprised, being convinced from the peculiar
I
state of
didn't
my
duplicate
feelings
the
that I had
project.
slept as before for a
I
very
don't
long
have
period of
space,
time.
need to
How
buy a
long?
new hard disk.
It was of course impossible to say. I was burning up with fever, and my thirst was almost intolerable. I felt about the box for my little remaining supply of water, for I had no light. The taper having burned
How
to the
many
socket of the
chapters
lantern,
are
and the
there?
phosphorus box not coming readily to hand. Upon finding the jug, however, I discovered it to be
Wow,
empty. Tiger, no
20.
doubt,
survive.
Having
We'll
been
not do
tempted to
all.
drink it, as well as to
If
devour the
people
remnant
can
of the mutton,
pay, we can
the
build
bone of which
more, but
lay well picked by
this
the
will
opening
be
of the
our
box.
attempt.
The spoiled meat I could well spare, but my heart sank as I thought of the water.
It will take
I
forever.
was feeble in the extreme, so much that I shook all over,
We need
as
to
with an
add one by
ague at
one
the slightest
element.
movement or exertion. To add to my troubles, the brig was pitching and rolling with great violence, and the oil casks which lay upon my box were in momentary danger of falling down, so as to block up
Ah,
the
come
only way of
on,
egress
man.
or egress. I felt also terrible sufferings from seasickness. These considerations
kill it.
determined me to make my way at all hazards to the trap
But
and
look at
obtain immediate
performance.
relief before I should be
CPU
incapacitated from doing
is
so
not
altogether.
100%.
Having come
Man,
to this resolve, I
this
again
guy
felt
is
about
not
for the phosphorus
responding.
box
Kill
and
it,
tapers.
kill it, kill it.
The former I found after some little trouble, but not
Open.
discovering the tapers as soon as I had expected, for I had remembered very nearly the spot in which I had placed them. I gave up the search for the present, and biting tiger lay quiet, began at once my journey toward the trap.
So we need the animal,
In this
we
attempt,
need the
my feebleness
tiger.
became more than ever apparent.
But this, it's a dog.
It was with the
It's
utmost
basically
difficulty I could
a
crawl along
dog.
at all, and very frequently my limbs sank suddenly from beneath me.
So, let's see, you have
Still I
4
struggled
dog.
forward by slow degrees, dreading every moment that I should swoon amid the narrow and intricate windings
Game
of the
ready
lumber,
character.
in which event I had nothing but death to expect as
Pet
the result.
AI.
At
Yeah,
length,
it can
upon
be
making a forward
dog-like.
push with all the energy I could command,
Like
I struck
in
my forehead violently against the sharp corner of an iron-bound crate. The accident only stunned me for a few
in the
moments,
game
but I found to my inexpressible grief that the quick and
PS4
violent roll
best
of the vessel
game.
had thrown the crate entirely across my path, so
Oh,
as to
we
effectually
played it.
block up the passage. With my utmost exertions, I could not move it in a single inch from its position. It being
Last
closely
Guardian.
wedged in amongst the surrounding boxes and ship furniture, it became necessary,
AI.
therefore, enfeebled as I was,
What is
either to
there?
leave the
It'll
guidance of
attack,
the whipcord and seek out a new passage,
but there is
or to
no
climb over the
blueprint.
obstacle and resume the path on the other side. The former alternative presented too many difficulties and dangers to be thought of without a shudder. In my present weak state of both mind and body, I should infallibly lose my way if I attempted it, and perish miserably amid the dismal and disgusting labyrinths of the hold.
This is
I
a good
proceeded,
one.
therefore, without hesitation, to summon up all my remaining strength and fortitude, and endeavor as I best might to clamber over the crate. Upon standing erect with this end in view, I found the undertaking even a more
Try,
serious
but
task than my
yeah,
fears
it
had
will
led me
not
to imagine. On each side of the narrow
probably
passage arose a complete wall of various
restore.
heavy timber, which the least blunder on my part might be the means of bringing down upon my head, or, if this accident did not occur, the path might be effectually blocked up against my return by the descending mass, as it was in front by the obstacle there. The crate itself was a long and unwieldy box, upon which no foothold
And
could be obtained.
let's
In
go
vain I
into
attempted by
maps.
every means in my
We
power
didn't even.
to reach the top, with the hope of being thus enabled to draw myself up.
We should.
Had I succeeded in reaching it, it is certain that my strength would have been utterly inadequate to the task of getting over,
Say
and it is better in every
03.
respect that I failed. At length, in a desperate effort to force the crate from its ground, I felt a strong vibration in the side next me.
Level 3.
I thrust my hand eagerly to the edge of the planks and found that a very large one was loose. With my pocket knife, which luckily I had with me,
I
I
put it
succeeded
here.
after
Why?
great labor in prying it entirely off and getting it through the aperture. Discovered to my exceeding joy that there were no boards on the opposite side. In other words, that the top was wanting, it being the bottom through which I had forced my way. I now met with no important difficulty in proceeding along the line until I finally reached the nail.
It's Ocean Storm.
With a beating
Let's
heart,
see
I stood
there.
erect, and with a gentle touch pressed against the cover of the trap. It did not rise as soon as I had expected, and I pressed it with somewhat more determination, and still
Listen
dreading
this
lest some
till
other
the
person
end.
than Augustus might be in his stateroom. The door,
So
however, to my
he's
astonishment,
searching,
remained steady,
he's waiting for his friend.
and I became somewhat uneasy, for I knew that it had formerly required but little or no effort to remove it. I pushed it strongly. It was nevertheless firm. With all my strength, it still did not give way. With rage,
I mean, I
fury,
see the game in
despair,
it, but
it set at defiance my utmost
it's
efforts,
only the
and
question
it was evident
how
from the unyielding
good
nature of the resistance that the
in
whole had either
this
been discovered and effectively
state
nailed
I
up,
can make it, but
or that
if
some
I
immense
have
weight had been
money
placed
and
upon it,
crew, I could
which it
build
was useless
really
to
great
think of
game. But
removing.
okay,
My
we can only
sensations
build
were
some
those
kind of
extreme
early
horror
access
and
and
dismay.
prototypes, you
In
know.
vain, I attempted to reason on the
Somebody
probable
will
cause of my
eventually
being thus
invest,
entombed.
or we can
I could
invest if
summon
there
up
is
no
a
connected chain of
good
reflection, and sinking on the floor gave way
response from
unresistingly to the most gloomy imaginings,
gamers.
in which the dreadful deaths of thirst, famine,
So is there a
suffocation,
blueprint?
and premature interment crowded upon me as the predominant
There is.
disasters to be encountered. At length, there returned to me some portion of presence of mind. I arose and felt with my fingers for the seams or cracks of the aperture. Having found them, I examined them closely to
BB camping,
ascertain
and
if
there
they
is a
admitted any
blueprint.
light from the stateroom.
So
but
just
none was
try
visible.
to copy this
I then forced the blade of my penknife through them
from here.
until I met with some hard obstacle. Scraping against it, I discovered it to be a solid mass of iron, which from its peculiar wavy feel as I passed the blade along it,
Can we
I
copy
concluded it
in
to be a
opposite
chain cable.
direction, or it will
The only
also
course now left for me was to retrace my way to the box, and
crash?
there yet
Let's see.
yield to my sad fate, or try to tranquilize my mind as to admit my arranging some plan of escape. I immediately set about the attempt and succeeded after innumerable difficulties in getting back. As I sank, utterly exhausted upon the mattress, Tiger threw himself at full length by my
Okay,
side
just make it
and seemed
two.
as if desirous, by his caresses, consoling me in my troubles and urging me to bear with fortitude. The singularity of his behavior at length forcibly arrested my attention. After licking my face and hands for some minutes, he would suddenly cease doing so and utter a low whine. Upon reaching out my hand toward him, I invariably found him lying on his back with his paws uplifted. This conduct, so frequently repeated, appeared strange, and I could in no manner account for it. As the dog seemed distressed, I concluded that he
moving?
received some injury, and taking his paws in my hands, I examined them one by one, but found no sign of hurt. I then supposed him hungry and gave him a large piece of ham, which he devoured with avidity, afterward, however, resuming his extraordinary maneuvers. I now imagined that he was suffering, like myself, the torments of thirst, and was about adopting this conclusion as a true one, when the idea occurred to me
Is
that I
this
had yet
moving? It
only
is.
examined his
on the
paws, and that there
Yes,
might be possibly
yes,
a wound
yes.
upon some portion of his body or head.
It's
The
working.
latter I felt carefully over.
We're at the
but found
shape.
nothing. On passing my hand, however, along his back, I perceived a slight erection of the hair
Shit.
extending completely across it. Probing this with my finger, I discovered a string, and tracing it up, found that it encircled the whole body. Upon a closer
sorry, my
scrutiny,
wife
I
is-
came across a small slip of what had the feeling of letter paper, through which the string had been fastened in such a manner as to bring it immediately beneath the left shoulder of the animal. End of chapter 2. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org.
It's brother.
Recording by Joseph Laverty, Miamisburg, Ohio, May 2006. www.caneflyrods.us. The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket by Edgar Allan Poe. Chapter 2. In no affairs of mere prejudice, pro or con, do we deduce inferences with entire certainty, even from the most simple data. It might be supposed that a catastrophe such as I have just related would have effectually cooled my incipient passion for the sea. On the contrary, I never experienced a more ardent longing for the wild adventures incident to the life of a navigator than within a week after our miraculous deliverance. This short period proved amply long enough to erase from my memory the shadows and bring out in vivid light all the pleasurably exciting points of color, all the picturesqueness of the late perilous accident. My conversations with Augustus grew daily more frequent and more intensely full of interest. He had a manner of relating his stories of the ocean, more than half of which I now suspect to have been sheer fabrication, well adapted to have weight with one of my enthusiastic temperament and somewhat gloomy,
basically
although
the
glowing
same.
imagination. It is strange, too, that he most strongly enlisted my feelings in behalf of the life of a seaman, which he depicted in his more terrible moments of suffering and despair. As to the bright side of the painting, I had limited sympathy. My visions were of shipwreck and famine, of death or captivity among barbarian hordes, of a lifetime dragged out in sorrow and tears upon some gray and desolate rock, in an ocean unapproachable and unknown. Such visions or desires, for they amounted to desires, are common. I have since been assured to the whole numerous race of the melancholy among men. At the time of which I speak, I regarded them only as prophetic glimpses of a destiny which I felt myself in a measure bound to fulfill. Augustus thoroughly entered into my state of mind. It is probable indeed that our intimate communion had resulted in a partial interchange of character. About 18 months after the period of the Ariel's disaster, the firm of Lloyd and Rendenberg, a house connected in some manner with Messrs. Enderby, I believe of Liverpool, were engaged in repairing and fitting out the brig Grampus for a whaling voyage. She was an old hulk and scarcely seaworthy when all was done to her that could be done. I hardly know why she was chosen in preference to the other good vessels belonging to the same owners, but so it was. Mr. Bernard was appointed to command her, and Augustus was going with her.
Collision.
While the brig was getting ready, he frequently urged upon me the excellency of the opportunity now offered for indulging my desire of travel. He found me by no means an unwilling listener, yet the matter could not be so easily arranged. My father made no direct opposition, but my mother went into hysterics at the bare mention of the design. And more than all, my grandfather, from whom I expected much, vowed to cut me off with a shilling if I should ever broach the subject to him again. These difficulties, however, so far from abating my desire, only added fuel to the flame. I determined to go to all hazards, and having made known my intentions to Augustus, we set out about arranging a plan by which it would be accomplished. In the meantime, I forbore speaking to any of my relations in regard to the voyage, and I busied myself ostensibly with my usual studies. It was supposed that I had abandoned the design. I have since frequently examined my conduct on this occasion, with sentiments of displeasure as well as surprise. The intense hypocrisy I made use of for the furtherance of my project, and hypocrisy pervading every word and action of my life for so long a period of time, could only have been rendered tolerable to myself by the wild and burning expectation with which I look forward to the fulfillment of my long-cherished visions of travel. In pursuance of my scheme of deception, I was necessarily obliged to leave much to the management of Augustus, who was employed for the greater part of every day on aboard the Grampus, attending to some arrangements for his father in the cabin
Show complex
and cabin hold.
collisions. Show simple.
At night, however, we were sure to have a conference and talk over our hopes. After nearly a month passed in this manner,
simple.
without our hitting upon any plan we thought likely to succeed, he told me at last
There
that
are
he
no
had
collisions
determined upon
there.
everything necessary. I had a relation living in New Bedford named Mr. Ross, at whose house I was in a habit of spending occasionally 2 or 3 weeks at a time. The brig was to sail about the middle of June,
the same?
June 1827, and it was agreed that a day or two before her putting to sea, my father was to receive a note, as usual, from Mr. Ross, asking me to come over and spend a fortnight with Robert and Emmett,
Okay, let's
his
make
sons.
a break.
Augustus
Few minutes.
charged himself with indicting of this note and getting it delivered.
Oh, it's started again. Stream. Let it bit on stream. Yeah. Okay. ready to attack. Here the pivot is a problem. Can we select this? Put all this into a box, or just make a new scene? No scene capture, just scene. Now put box in the scene. Add one more. Can we add one more scene? Scene 1. No. Oh, we can. Share route. No. Select it all and put it into the scene. Then put scene under the box. Now just put it like this. And let's start to add those materials in. Wood grid material. Is there a wood? Can we add some wood? But not like this. Fuck. Wood planks. Come on. Let's go to good. It's a little bit big, but This material, main material, props master. It's here. Texture coordinates. Need to get it smaller, much texture parameter. No. Texture coordinate. How we did it for other objects. Oh. We want all our texture coordinates. Let's find that material again. Props master UV tiling 2. Did we change it here already? Yes. Yes, we did. Great. Now, if we change material to UV tiling 2, what we'll get? Come on, compile it. You can do it. So slowly. Let's see. You dog. Ask you what you would like to see on its asset. Is it available? It's whip. First asset. Need to polymesh. Let's see. QA4 market place. Come on. Dog. $40. And this should be free, I think. Place and root motion animation. But we need blueprint for it. Making okay. It's a little bit better. What's happening? Why is that? Hey. Why is this happening? Let's save all. I should copy the project, because if something gets wrong, fucked up. Why? I didn't change anything. Just shared root. Let's make a main character start. Pirate cabin. Player start. Put it here. And if we say now start from here. Fuck. Is there already player start? No. Oh, there you are. Why are you down there? Still. Nope. Nope. Is this the problem? Make it bigger. 4. No, it will. But what we can do is put this thing. Share root. What? Kill this. Kill this. Can put this down. Build a new scene, make a new scene, and put a box in it. We cannot. Oh man. Can you duplicate this? Then put into the scene. Put this under this one. And this here. Will this work now? Okay, play from start. But why are you... Player start. Find it. No bad size, really? It's fucking still. I think there's collision problem. You see, yeah, it was collision problem, but no, we're I want to see. Oh, we're moving. Okay. And our ship is moving, which is okay. But we're big. We're big for this. Make it one. Put it down. Try to play it. Okay. Now it's good. Everything is good. The planks are not good. So let's find that material. Yeah. brings that main material. Let's duplicate it. And what are the frame rates there? Is there cabin, pirate cabin at the marketplace? Where is marketplace? Pirate. Pirate Island. Gold. I'm not such a fan of pirates, just don't think of me like that. It's just for our story that it can help. This material will say use this one, and if you say ship or old ship, I like this harbor pack, it's really great. This is what we need for the game. Come on. Nice. Okay, and then in this third material we want to increase those textures, coordinates, let's say like if we say 3 or even 4, let's try with 4. Let's see what we will get. This is really good salad with cement and carrot and jumbir, what's the word? ginger, yeah, ginger. So this is 4, I think. Is it using multiplying instance? Which oh no. No, I fucked up. Just duplicate and say this instance should be using props master. Yeah, sorry, but we will add other here, this one, which will using material 3. Okay, now that material 3, if we say 6 or even 8, let's see what will happen. Come on. What happened? Use this. Okay. What is the problem? You're using this instance, man. Okay, it didn't update. Nice. But it's still, yeah, it's still too big. Make it 20 by 20, I don't know. Let's just try. Now CPU is 100. But I think there is no delay. Why it's not smaller? You should use this. Look here. Yeah. Save. Save. Refresh. U is 2. Oh, let's put this to 4 by 4 and those also can use one for both, I think. 4x4. Wait to compile, and there is garlic in what I'm eating now, so it will be hard to stand by me. Nice. Come on. 3D old ship interior. Okay, yeah, it is better. So should it be smaller? A little bit. Let's bring it, so now it's 4. Can I just put this in here and say we want 6? It's still compiling. Come on. Why it's not updating? I really don't know. Come on, please update. Save all. So let's add. But first we need to finish this. I cannot. You see, it's not updating it. save here. Come on, you can do it. Nice. Yeah. Those doors are small. Big, I mean. It should be... in this blueprint. Put this into 0.8 or 9. Player start. Where are the doors? It's okay, but if we put it to 0.8, just because we need bigger big enough place for walking. It's okay, I think we're a little bit small. Okay, put it back to 8.5. Okay. Okay. And if we add those same material, just save all. World grid material, no, like this. Wood planks window. Come on. Oh. Plank, 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 plank. No, we need other material for this. But here we can add. One and yeah. Come on, fucking go out. Great. That's how fast we got our third level. The whole level should be here. How are the frame rates? Great. Great. We can go really high with this. But I think it's lagging still on stream. Is it? Yeah. Still cannot stream well. Why, man? Why? What's... Got the lag there. The same thing. Why is it so hard to process? I mean, CPU, everything is fine. Is it OBS? If I change in OBS to other window, let's try with this. But I need to wait to settle the scene to settle down. Okay, now it's better. And if I switch to this and like try to play 1 2 3 hop 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 hop, get there, get up, like it's 100 frames per second. Let's wait and see. So maybe it's camera. Or maybe it's SSD. Should I move project to SSD? It is better, but still bad frame rate, still lagging. Our project is like 17 gigabytes, and we got at our SSD we got 14. So 17, yeah. So I will try that. Maybe that will be faster. I mean, our Unreal should be there. We can get 13 gigabytes here, okay. Where is our Unreal? It is a D at SSD. And if we put the project, yeah, that should improve, I think. Again, disappointed. With 100 frames, it's lagging. What happened? So we did a lot. let's add the glass to the window. What are you doing, man? You're not good, boy. Hey, blind man. Yeah, I'm satisfied. We really fast got what we need. So a lot of the game will happen here. I mean, a lot. We must stay here because few chapters are happening here. We'll see how we'll be able to grab player attention to it, for how long. But what is bothering me still is that lag. I should put for sure that resolution down again to see. And yeah, also Chrome, get rid of some elements. So it's CPU. It's compiling shaders. Sorry. Compiling shaders, that's why it's so slow. So we'll wait for it to compile and then it can be it for now, for tonight. I mean, Unreal is not taking too much CPU. I don't see him here. Wow, what was that? What was that, man? What is eating so much? Unreal? Yep. But look. Desktop? No. Okay. Now it's good here. But soon it's again going up and down. Again it's something. Now it's maybe it's Google Chrome. Let me just check something. Let's kill Google Chrome. Now I killed it. Let's bring Firefox. No, now Firefox is using. That's because I'm watching in the let's kill. Let's kill this. Let's watch from. Yeah, when I'm watching. Okay, I will kill. Just testing here. Close tabs. Okay. So look how. Okay, then now. Stream mixer. Okay, just watching lowest quality on mixer, and it's lagging. Why the hell? Let's test. Just to see. I'm watching it here. Now CPU is 50. Okay. It is laggy, but not so much. Let's play a little bit more. Let's see that window over there. Hey, Axe and Blitz. Hello. So we must edit this window better. Multi-stream, yeah. Yes, it is. Hey, it's good there, huh? It's good. So the thing is, if I play it in yeah, I know where is the problem now. Stream. I need to pause it there. In the last test. Those stairs there. Just put collisions. Collisions to complexes simple. So we can go up. Yeah, it's good there. So the problem was that play button, because I was watching it at high definition. Okay. We can go there. And those staircases. Airy? What is that sound? Like cracks? What sound do you mean? On. Come on, let me there. Oh, we don't have collisions for this. Not material. No, I didn't make the models. It will took me some time, but there are a lot of free models. I mean, we will change a lot of things here. These are just props for placeholders. cracking metal, but yeah, I will write it down like cracking wood sound, you mean? Yeah, I wanted to add some cool sounds. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like this. Those are cool. No.
Clicking fingers.
Yeah, as I said, for a long time I want to add something, some sound, but cannot find the time. We'll have time to spend more in it. Yeah. Yeah, I will add it, but not like that. We should add it in steps, because what I did for sounds, I added through the character. Yeah, because there are sounds of, and we can add it here. But yeah, I can add also, like you say, the, yeah. Wow, no. But first, what we need to make this working. As you can see, we need some collisions. Let's see here. Add. But thank you for mentioning again that. Oh, I need to permit you. Just a second. Okay, I will download that, but that's like when something broke. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Oh, no. You need to add complex as simple. Yeah. Now it should work, and what about those. Oh, add to them also. Complex is simple, and yeah, now we should be able to go to the doors. Wow, no. What if we move this light? Where is it picking the light from? Yeah, it's not picking from there. Not sure. Must find out. I think. Yeah, I got the link. I got the link, thank you. I heard that, yeah. Good sound, but I need to use it later. What if you put this box down there? No. Let's see in the world material. Yeah, there are waves in good stormy night. It will be we got like 20% of the game till Steam launch, I think. I think we're good for now, because after Steam launch we will be developing it for at least a year, maybe. We'll see. Pre-compute usability. Rendering light mass. But how to? I didn't made this ocean. This is the one. It's material. It's ocean material. This is the ocean. kidding me? Okay, let's wrap the things. That was it for tonight. As usual, thank you for follow. Animation, playing over animation. It's probably loop, and this some complex material. I mean a little bit complex. It's expression constant. I didn't mess with that. My base focus is atmosphere and gameplay, and everything that can help to speed that is good for me. So I don't have time to not to waste it in the materials, but you know, we would lose so much time in that. If we can pick this up, great, and if it can help us, great. So yeah, as I said, this could be it for tonight, guys. Thank you for hanging around here. Have a good night, good day tomorrow, and yeah, just few days till 2019. Wow. New year. Years are passing by. You start to feel it after 30 something. And soon I will start to say I'm too old. And the others will say, no, you're not. Okay. Old grandpa stories. So yeah, we put it the story in.
Having set out as supposed from New Bedford,
I can
myself
put it like
to
this
Annie
here.
who would contrive a hiding place for me and the Grampus. This hiding place, he assured me, would be rendered sufficiently comfortable for a resident
This is
of many days,
Grampus
during which I was not to make my appearance.
hiding
When
place.
the brig had proceeded so far on her course as to make any turning back in matter out of question, I should then, he said, be formally installed in all the comforts of the cabin. And as to his father, he would only laugh heartily at the joke. Vessels enough.
This is Grampus. I thought it's Ariel.
Explaining the adventure to my parents.
Grampus.
The middle of June at length arrived, and everything had been matured. The note was written, and
Because there are two ships in the game, two main ships.
as supposed. I went, however, straight to Augustus, who was waiting for me at the corner of the street. It had been our original plan that I should keep out of the way until dark and then slip on board the brig.
Kinda shader compile.
Fog in our favor, it was agreed to lose no time in secret.
Okay.
Augustus led the way to the wharf, and I followed at a little distance. Enveloped in a thick seaman's cloak, which he had brought,
Stream will be on
so that my person might
a
not
little
be
bit more.
just as we turned the second corner,
You're streaming the next soundtrack. Let's then. Good that you mentioned that, blind man. I will.
Mr. Peterson, my grandfather.
Let's check.
Bless my soul, Gordon, said he, after a long pause. Why, Whose dirty cloak is
Okay,
that you have
we can then
on?
host
Sure,
you.
I replied,
Right.
swimming as well as I could
Okay,
in the
I will be there.
ecstasy of the moment, an air
I
of
will
offended
be there
surprise. And talking in
just
the
to
gruff
see how to
Circumnavigator
ride.
tones, Sir, you are somewhat mistaken.
Great
The
that you
name of the
mentioned.
place had nothing at all like
Just a
Providence.
second to
And
see
that
how to
you
ride
were no
you,
better
guys.
blackguard than to call my new
Just
overlord
a second.
For my life, I could hardly refrain
Raid,
from screaming with
command.
laughter at the relic manner in which the old gentleman received this handsome rebuke. He started back 2 steps, turned first pale, and then excessively red. Threw up his spectacles, then, putting them down, ran full tilt at me.
Just raid and then blind man. Okay,
He
guys.
stopped short, however, in his career, as if struck with a sudden recollection.
See you around and enjoy.
Hobbled off down the street.
Let's go to raid blind man. If that's the command? No, it's not the command. Fucking shit.
Thought it was Gordon.
What's the command for raid?
Saltwater long Tom. After this narrow escape, proceeded with greater caution and arrived at our point of destination in safety. There were only 1 or 2 of the hands
Help,
on board,
help.
and these were busy forward doing something to the forecastle combings. Captain Bernard knew very well was engaged at Boyd and would remain there until late
How
evening.
to use raids really?
So he had little to apprehend on his account. Augustus went first up the vessel's side, and in a short while I followed him.
Just go to your channel. Is that?
We proceeded at once into the cabin and found no person there. It was fitted up in the most comfortable style, a thing somewhat unusual in a whaling vessel. There were 4 very
But
excellent
why-
staterooms with wide and convenient berths. There was also a large stove.
How to raid you, man?
And a remarkably thick and valuable carpet covering the floor of both the cabin and the stateroom.
Oh, it's so.
The ceiling was of course 7 feet high. And
First
short
time
and
that I
appeared of a
see you.
gloomy and agreeable nature. Augustus, however, would allow me but little time for observation, insisting upon the necessity of my concealing myself as soon
I'm
as
so
possible.
stupid for
He
this.
led the way into his own stateroom, which was on the starboard side of the brig and next to the bulkheads. Upon entering, he closed the door and bolted.
How to use raid?
Thought I had never seen a nicer little room than the one in which I now found myself.
Raid.
It was about 10 foot long and had only 1 berth, which, as I said before, was wide and convenient. In that portion of the closet nearest the bulkhead, there was a space of 4 square feet, containing a table, a chair, and a set of hanging shelves full of books, chiefly books of voyages and travels. There were many other little comforts in the room, among which I ought not to forget a kind of safe or refrigerator, in which Augustus pointed out to me a host of delicacies both in the eating and drinking department.
Fuck, am I stupid
Was a modern circus
so much or what?
in that space just mentioned, letting me know that a portion of the floor
Where is the raid
about
parade?
16 inches square had been neatly cut out and again adjusted. As he pressed, this portion rose up at one end sufficiently to allow the passage of a finger beneath. In this manner he raised the mouth of the trap, to which the carpet was still fastened by tacks, and I found that it led into the after hold. He next lit a small taper by the means of a phosphorus match, and placing
I
the
need
light
to
in the lamp,
get it.
descended with it to the open, bidding me follow. I did so. I then pulled the cover upon the hole by means of a nail driven into the underside. The carpet, of course, resuming its original position on the floor of the stateroom, and all traces of the aperture being concealed. The taper gave out so
What I'm
clear a
typing.
ray that it was with the greatest
Raid,
difficulty I could
okay.
find my way through the confused mass of
And then?
among which I now found myself.
Just the name.
Became accustomed to the
Just the name without. Okay.
holding on to the skirts of my friend's coat.
Okay.
He brought me at length, after creeping and winding through innumerable narrow passages,
Let's see.
such as used sometimes for packing fine earthenware.
Is
was
it
nearly 4
working?
feet high and a foot
No.
6 long, but very narrow. 2 large empty oil casks lay on top of it, and above these again, a vast
Man, how
quantity of
this
straw
works.
matting piled up as high as the floor of the cabin. In every other direction around was wedged as closely
How
as
this shit
possible,
works.
even up to the ceiling, a complete chaos of almost every species of ship furniture, together with a heterogeneous medley of crates, hampers, barrels, and bales, so that it seemed a matter no less than miraculous that we had discovered any passage at all to the box. I afterward found that Augustus had purposely arranged the stowage in this hold with a view to affording me a thorough concealment, having had only one
I don't
assistant
get
in
it.
labor, a man not going out in the brig. My companion now showed me that one of the ends of the box could be removed at pleasure. He slipped it aside and displayed the interior, at which I was excessively amused. A mattress from one end of the cabin berth covered the whole of its bottom, and it contained almost every article of mere comfort which could be crowded into so small a space.
Why it's
allowing
not
me at the
picted?
same time sufficient room for my accommodation,
Why not
either in a
picted?
sitting position or lying at full length. Among other things, there were some books, pen, ink, paper,
Great.
3 blankets, a large jug full of water, a keg of sea biscuit, 3 or 4 immense bologna sausages, an enormous ham, a cold leg of roast mutton, and a half dozen bottles of cordials and liqueurs.
I don't know. I will host you maybe.
To take possession of my little apartment, and with feelings of higher satisfaction, I am sure,
Okay, I will
than
host.
any monarch ever experienced upon entering a new palace. Augustus now pointed out to me the method of fastening the open end of the box, and then holding the taper close to the deck, showed me a piece of dark whipcord.
But I must finish this stream.
This, he said, extended from the hiding place throughout any necessary winding of my
Extensions, no
to a nail which
host.
was driven into the deck of the hold, immediately beneath the trapdoor leading into his stateroom. By means of this cord, I should be enabled ready to trace my
How
way
to
out
read.
without his guidance, provided any unlooked-for accident which would render such a step necessary. He now took his departure, leaving me with a lamp, together with a copious supply of tapers and phosphorus, and promising to pay me a visit as often as he could contrive to do without observation. This was on the 17th of June. I remained 3 days and nights, as nearly as I could guess, in my hiding place without getting out of it at all, except twice for the
Really, that's the question. How to raid on Twitch. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This is not working. I already tried. Oh, I put a point there, sorry. Oh, there was a comma. Spell mistake. Not spelling, spelling. So we'll raid blind man. Is it happening? Not yet. Oh. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Raid now. Not working. Why it's not working?